Let's go!
Hey everybody, Coach Scott here, and I'm back outside. Spring is here, and I'm feeling good about this weather, and I love the springtime. Spring is my favorite time of year, but if springtime is also very challenging for some people this time of year. So today I want to talk to you about why that's so challenging. I want to talk to you particularly about allergies. I had a friend one time who he suffered from what's called SAD, seasonal allergy disorder. He would wear a mask over his face every time he went outside when he was doing his yard work to avoid the pollen. And again, for many people, things like yard work and being outside and enjoying the sun is supposed to be fun and relaxing. But the question is, how can you relax when you're worried about all the symptoms that seasonal allergy disorders bring? The sneezing, the watery eyes, the scratchy throat, coughing, and there's just tons of other symptoms that comes with these seasonal and respiratory allergies. You see, when you have an immune response that is caused by allergies, it's very important to understand where this response is coming from, because allergies have become, I think it's the fifth, if I'm not mistaken, it's the fifth leading chronic disease in all of the United States of America. And I think it's the third most chronic disease for children under 18. One of the ways that our bodies fight against these invisible, I call them space invaders, is to help our detoxification pathways to keep the toxic load out of our bodies. This will help us, particularly as it relates to seasonal allergy disorder. So it's very important that we do our part to avoid or limit as much of these possible toxins and help our bodies equip themselves with a type of nutrition and hydration to help fight against these conditions. Now, one of the most important influencers of what our immune system and our immune system response is having healthy cells. You've heard me talk about this a lot before, but having healthy cells is one of the greatest aids or tools or things that we can help our body as it relates to our immune system. But things like chlorine and the elements in swimming pools and food preservatives, there's antibiotic residual in our food supply. When we're talking about highly processed foods and refined grains and refined sugars, all of these foods and all of these elements and all of these space invaders, if you will, can compromise our immune systems. And when we have a compromised immune system, it can lead us to all sorts of unwanted health issues, such as urinary tract infections, allergies, and things that will, again, our body has an immune response to try to fight against, and they contribute to what is known as even leaky gut, which is a condition where undigested food and other proteins get into the bloodstream through microscopic tears in the gut lining. Now, we've talked about some of this in the past and I'll weigh in on this at another time. But when this happens, what happens is the immune system perceives these space invaders, if you will, or foreign substances, and begin to fight them. So sometimes what happens is it causes what's called a hypersensitive response or allergic reaction. And the sad reality is that most people are led to believe that once they have allergies, like me at one point, and like many of you, that it's a lifetime affliction. But that's not true. And I've discovered that you don't necessarily need medication to treat, and most importantly, to prevent allergies. You see, I suffered from seasonal allergies for over 20 years. Ask my wife about this. She'll tell you about all my sufferings. That is until I changed my diet. The thing that really helped me the most was when I introduced MSM to my body, methylsulfonylmethane, and now I do this through the Healing Recovery Powder, so it's a lot easier for me to take. But the truth is that it all comes down to how we treat our bodies and how we help our bodies fight against these type of autoimmune disorders. So if our cells are healthy, we're healthy. To do that, we've got to give our cells the nutrition that they need while avoiding the toxic and physical damages that cause disease, including allergies. So the question is, how do we do this? For starters, number one, you've heard me say this before, try to avoid or limit white flour and refined sugar as much as possible. Number two, make sure you get your MSM and vitamin C in your system on a regular basis. Now again, I do that through the Healing Recovery, but you can do it any way you want to do it. Just make sure that you get it in your body. We've had hundreds of people tell us that they no longer take any allergy medications, they no longer take any seasonal allergy medications over the counter, prescribed, whatever, and this has been one of my greatest non-scale victories at LT360. So keep your foot on the gas. Don't worry about spring, because spring is here, and it should be a time that you're planting new seeds, new opportunities for your life. So don't let seasonal allergies get you down. And if you'll do that, I believe and declare you will be all that you were created to be. God bless you guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.